Dari
Kuliah dulu gak sih?
kuliah dulu nggak sih? Oh iya iya. Iso iso. Kuliah dulu nggak sih? Kuliah. Iso. Ada yang salah. Harusnya gini bro, ininya pindah ke sini. Sebentar. Oke. Ya. Oh, udah masuk madam. Tiga ini. Oh, ada suara aku.
Ya, ini nyambung juga tadi. Iya, kayak pakai mic-nya ini ikut ini kan.
Iya, iya.
So, ya, udah makan nggak? Enggak. Ada kucing.
Mana? Tapi suaranya masuk tahu ke sini.
Iya. Oh, iya.
Kalau ini dimatiin. Cek satu dua.
Delay ya.
Cek satu dua. Ada suara istri. Ada. Giliran pakai mic ada. Giliran pakai mic ada. Cek satu dua.
Berarti ada tapi delay. Iya delay. Delay banget. Eh,
Ada suara istri.
sini mikir on nggak?
Enggak. Off.
Masuk.
Soalnya
Oh iya. Anehnya matikan.
nggak mau di sini sih.
Iya di USB tadi.
Cek satu dua. Bisa bahasa enggak. Dari sini masuk lagi.
Oh, lagi.
Cek satu dua.
Nggak ada.
Ya, kok aku dari sini. Empat.
Masuk, masuk.
Jaga.
Cek, 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 cek.
Cek masuk. Nggak harus mati di situ.
Dari situ maksudnya ya. Lah, suara aku yang masuk dong berarti.
Tes pakai mikrofon.
Cek.
Bisa lagi.
Nah,
Coba.
cek. Loh, masuk.
Masuk. Karena itu
Ayo pakai ini.
Tes,
eh
tes.
Cek, cek.
Bagaimana perasaannya?
Ini masuk ini udah gerak ke atas.
Ini.
MC-nya mana? Ini turun mana? Pakai ini.
Di sini maju depan. Ya, halo, tes. Halo, halo. Jangan sampai ada yang potong gitu.
Ngomong lagi, ngomong, ngomong lagi. Udah gerak. Suara aku masuk ya? Kalau ini mudah nggak ya?
Coba lagi.
Tes, tes, tes. Halo. Cek, cek, cek. Tes.
Tes, 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 tes. Tes, 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 tes.
Masih lewat.
Tes, tes, tes.
Tes, tes, tes. Halo.
Tes, tes,
Cek, cek, cek.
tes, 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 tes.
Nanti kita diam.
Lewat chat aja.
Oke.
Makasih. Mungkin
Ah,
terlalu tinggi banget.
aduh, sungguh connecting bro.
Kalau itu bisa di-download kan? Masih. Iya. Mau pakai ini nggak?
Oke, siap. Keluarin itu ya.
Ini Pak.
Untuk yang streaming gitu. Gimana?
Kan Malaysia. Oke. Mas pinjam.
Nih, betul.
Kita sedikit kan?
Oke.
Siapa sih yang nyala di musik?
Dan musik kecil dong.
Terus nyala kan?
Ya, bulat. Ya, gimana?
Kita nyala aja.
Dan nyala tapi masuk ke laptop.
Masuk ke laptop.
Ya. Kalian yang bingung. Beda. Tadi pagi.
Kawan mohon untuk
Jadi dia lagi.
Tapi udah masuk.
Iya. Tekan mikrofone gawe.
Tes. Tes, 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 tes.
Ini dikasih tahu kalau teman-teman yang mau ke toilet segera ke toilet supaya pematerinya datang kalian lupa kita nggak keluar masuk gitu. Coba cari kata-kata yang benar. Teman-teman yang ingin ke toilet sekarang, silakan ke toilet sekarang ya, agar nantinya jika pemateri datang tidak usah bolak-balik keluar masuk. Terima kasih.
Good morning, everyone. Salam Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang terhormat Bapak Dr. Bambang Sigit Widodo MTD selaku Dekan FIS UNESA. Ibu Eva Hani Vanida SAP MAP selaku Koordinator Program Studi S1 Ilmu Administrasi Negara UNESA. Bapak dan Ibu dosen jurusan Administrasi Publik UNESA.
Yang terhormat Bapak Joshua Shen, Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate General Surabaya, Ibu Esti Durasanti, Cultural Affairs Specialist at the U.S. Consulate General Surabaya, dan Bapak Pugu Susetio, Cultural Affairs Assistant at the U.S. Consulate General Surabaya, serta seluruh peserta guest lecture on public diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, with a heart full of gratitude, let us collectively raise our voices in praise and thanksgiving to the presence of the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has generously bestowed upon us his blessings and grace. It is by his mercy that we gathered here today, filled with joy and good health. We are indeed fortunate to come together in good health and be able to attend today's guest lecture.
Dengan mengucapkan syukur, Alhamdulillah. Mari kita memanjatkan puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala yang telah melimpahkan kepada kita semua nikmat dan karunia-Nya, sehingga sampai kita masih diberi rahmat. Dengan penuh kebahagiaan atas nikmat tersebut, kita bisa berkumpul dalam keadaan sehat dan dapat menghadiri acara kuliah umum hari ini.
Today, on the 30th of October 2023, we'll be participating in a series of events under the theme Exploring the Significance and Strategies of Public Diplomacy with the U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya. As part of the Public Diplomacy Lecture organized by the Department of Public Administration, State University of Surabaya, in collaboration with the U.S. Consulate General, Surabaya.
Hari ini, tanggal 30 Oktober 2023, kita akan mengikuti serangkaian acara kuliah umum diplomasi publik administrasi negara UNESA berkolaborasi dengan Konsulat Jenderal Amerika Serikat. Muhammad Raffi Andriza dan rekan saya Sofi Amira Salsabila selaku Master of Ceremony pada acara kali ini.
Before we start the event, first I will read the event program sequence. First is opening and prayer. Second, singing the national anthem Indonesia Raya and the university anthem. Third, speech from the head of Public Administration Department and the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Law, State University of Surabaya. Fourth is presentation of material. Fifth, Q&A session. Sixth is token of appreciation presentation. Seventh, documentation. And last, closing.
Sebelum acara kita mulai, terlebih dahulu saya akan membacakan susunan acara. Pertama, pembukaan dan doa. Kedua, menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya dan Mars UNESA. Selanjutnya ketiga, sambutan dari Kepala Program Studi Administrasi Publik dan Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Hukum UNESA. Keempat, pemaparan materi. Kelima, tanya jawab materi. Selanjutnya keenam, penyerahan kenang-kenangan kepada pembicara. Ketujuh, dokumentasi. Terakhir, penutup.
As we begin, let's start the event by a prayer.
Sebelum memulai acara, mari bersama-sama kita berdoa. Berdoa dipersilahkan. Berdoa selesai.
As we move on to the next part of the guest lecture, let's rise for the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and our university anthem.
Selanjutnya, kita akan menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya yang diikuti dengan Mars UNESA. Hadirin dimohon untuk berdiri. Hadirin dipersilahkan duduk kembali.
Next, we are going to hear a speech from the head of the Department of Public Administration, Faculty of Social Sciences and Law, State University of Surabaya, Mrs. Eva Fanida, SAP MAP. Please proceed to the stage.
Selanjutnya, kita akan mendengarkan sambutan dari Kepala Program Studi Administrasi Publik Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Hukum Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Ibu Hani Fanida, SAP MAP, dipersilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, Bapak Ibu semua, mahasiswa. Selamat pagi kepada Pak Dekan, Div UNESA. Selamat pagi kepada Ibu Wakil Dekan 2, Div UNESA, Bu Indah. Selamat datang kepada narasumber utama kami, Bapak Joshua Sen, dan juga dari staf konjen Amerika, Ibu Esti, dan juga Bapak Kuku, serta Bapak Ibu dosen dari Prodi S1 Ilmu Administrasi Negara, dan juga yang kami sayangi dan juga kami banggakan, mahasiswa baru Prodi S1 Ilmu Administrasi Negara angkatan 2023. Ini masuk ya suara saya ya? Oke. Jadi terima kasih sekali. Jadi Bapak Sen, pada kesempatan kali ini kami memang meng-create kegiatan ini. Jadi kegiatan ini memang annual begitu. Nah, untuk tahun ini kami undang dari US Konjen karena pertimbangannya adalah salah satunya kami untuk mensukseskan ya program internasionalisasi di fakultas dan juga di universitas. Dan kebetulan kami ini juga pada tahun ini kami mengajukan akreditasi internasional dari AKAS Jerman. Seperti itu. Insya Allah akhir tahun ini akan keluar akreditasinya. Dan tagihannya adalah salah satunya adalah memperbanyak kegiatan-kegiatan internasionalisasi seperti itu. Makanya sehingga ada Mbak Lili yang Bu Lili ya, yang kemudian kami minta untuk membantu begitu, sehingga alhamdulillah bisa direspon baik oleh konjen Amerika di Surabaya, sehingga terlaksanakanlah hari ini seperti itu acara ini. Harapan kami dengan adanya tema terkait dengan public diplomasi ini akan menambah wawasan mahasiswa ya terkait dengan praktek-praktek internasional bagaimana membangun public diplomasi. Karena di mata kuliah kami ini ada salah satunya ada mata kuliah komunikasi dan advokasi kebijakan. seperti itu. Jadi tentunya ini sangat ditunggu-tunggu oleh mahasiswa kami. Kegiatan ini diikuti secara luring dan daring, Bapak Sen. Jadi ada 500 mahasiswa baru kami, ya 500 students. Jadi karena kapasitas ruangan ini hanya 250, sehingga separuh ini 250 ini yang di sini, yang daring 250 juga, seperti itu. Jadi kami harapkan sekali nanti ini bisa membantu mereka ya, menginspirasi mereka dan apa ya, ini mahasiswa kami ini banyak yang kemudian mimpi-mimpi besarnya itu memang tentang Amerika minded seperti itu. Harapan kami juga nggak cuma mahasiswanya Bapak, tapi dosennya juga. Seperti itu. Jadi kami masih ada banyak dosen-dosen muda kami, dan kemudian kebetulan dosen kami ada juga yang masih banyak yang S2 gitu. Harapannya juga nanti bisa tembus, semoga bisa tembus sekolahnya di Amerika begitu. Mengikuti Mbak Lili seperti itu. Terima kasih. Kami cukupkan sampai di sini, Bapak Ibu. Semoga nanti kegiatannya berjalan lancar. Terima kasih sekali lagi. Akhir kata, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We extend our gratitude to Mrs. Eva Hanifanida for her remarkable speech.
Terima kasih kami sampaikan kepada Ibu Eva Hanifanida.
Now, we are going to hear a speech from the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Law, State University of Surabaya, who will also officially open today's event. I would like to invite Mr. Bambang Sigit Widodo, MPD, to the stage.
Selanjutnya kita akan mendengarkan sambutan dari Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Hukum UNESA, yang sekaligus akan membuka acara pada hari ini. Kepada Bapak Dr. Bambang Sigit Widodo, MPD, dipersilahkan.
Tes. Memang suaranya pelan ini. Suaranya keras tadi ya. Ya, mantap ini ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu. Yang saya hormati Bapak Joshua Sen. Thank you for your coming. I hope you enjoy being here in the Faculty of Social Sciences and Law. Serta tim, kemudian yang saya hormati Bu WD2, yang juga dosen administrasi negara, Bu Eva, selaku Kaprodi, teman-teman dosen, dan juga mahasiswa yang luar biasa. Bagaimana kabarnya hari ini? Alhamdulillah. Puji syukur senantiasa kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa. Alhamdulillah hari ini kita masih diberikan kenikmatan, kesehatan, sehingga hari ini kita bisa berkegiatan yang luar biasa. Hari ini kita ada kuliah tamu dan langsung dari Konsulat Jenderal Amerika yang ada di Surabaya. Mudah-mudahan dalam kuliah tamu nanti ada informasi-informasi penting yang bisa bermanfaat untuk kita semua. Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Mahasiswa yang saya banggakan, memang isu terakhir yang sekarang sedang berkembang adalah bagaimana sebenarnya diplomasi publik itu menjadi salah satu terobosan ketika diplomasi konvensional itu dianggap sudah usang. Jadi komunikasi government to government yang secara formal mungkin dalam era sekarang tidak harus menjadi satu-satunya media untuk bisa menyampaikan informasi, tapi justru public diplomasi ini yang sekarang sedang menjadi tren, di mana komunikasi antar negara tidak hanya di diwakilkan oleh pemerintah, tapi bisa juga oleh swasta, oleh NGO, oleh stakeholder-stakeholder yang memang berkaitan dengan itu. Dan hari ini kita akan mendengarkan bagaimana nanti pemaparan dari narasumber kita sebagai dosen tamu yang akan menyampaikan terkait dengan beberapa hal itu. Konflik yang ada di Israel Palestina itu kan sempat mengguncangkan dunia. Bagaimana ada eskalasi yang cukup tinggi antara China dan India. China mencoba untuk berada di dalam posisi mendukung kemerdekaan Palestina, tapi di lain sisi India mencoba untuk berada di posisi membela Israel. Nah, dua-duanya memiliki kepentingan bagaimana mereka berada di wilayah Timur Tengah dengan membranding diri mereka. Apakah diplomasi publik juga terkait dengan hal itu, sehingga mampu untuk menyelesaikan potensi-potensi konflik yang ada di dunia ini? Ataukah justru malah diplomasi publik itu dijadikan sarana atau media untuk melakukan infiltrasi setelah perang fisik itu dianggap kurang begitu efektif. Nah, hari ini kita akan belajar terkait dengan hal itu, dan tentu saja tadi yang disampaikan sama Bu Eva, mimpi untuk bisa melanjutkan studi di Amerika juga menjadi keinginan kita bersama ya. Saya pernah ke Amerika tapi tidak studi seperti Mbak Lili. Saya hanya short course saja, tapi sudah cukup bahagia. Dan begitu sulitnya ketika ingin mendapatkan visa di konjen Amerika. Tidak semua orang itu bisa. Saya berada di antrian keempat. 1, 2, 3. Dan gagalnya itu langsung oleh petugas yang ada di konjen Amerika. Anda tidak lolos untuk mendapatkan visa. Saya kaget juga. Tapi giliran keempat saya, karena waktu itu pakai paspor biru, dan saya juga bukan teroris. Sehingga visa saya akhirnya bisa lolos dan bisa short course di Ohio State University. Dan ini mudah-mudahan bisa menginspirasi teman-teman semua. Belajar di negara maju juga menguntungkan kita semua, bagaimana kita bisa berinteraksi dengan banyak orang, berinteraksi dengan banyak budaya, culture, dan seterusnya, yang nantinya akan memberikan bekal dan pengalaman kita, sehingga kita benar-benar bisa menjadi teladan, menjadi orang yang lebih bijak, karena kita telah terbiasa hidup dari lingkaran-lingkaran lintas sektoral tadi. Saya rasa ini yang bisa saya sampaikan. Sekali lagi terima kasih kepada Bapak Joshua Sen yang telah berkenan untuk hadir. Dan tadi saya terenyuh. Apa bahasa Indonesia terenyuh? Terenyuh juga ya. Karena beliaunya tadi ketika Indonesia Raya sedang dikumandangkan, beliau juga bisa nyanyi Indonesia Raya. Tepuk tangan buat beliaunya. Ternyata nation state-nya luar biasa, beliau, dan ini penghormatan bagi kami karena Bapak Joshua Sen itu bisa bernyanyi Indonesia Raya. Sekali lagi tepuk tangan untuk beliaunya. Baik, tanpa berpanjang kata, kegiatan public diplomacy, exploring the significant and strategies of public diplomacy with the US Consulate General in Surabaya yang dikemas dalam kuliah tamu hari ini, Senin 30 Oktober 2023, secara resmi saya nyatakan dibuka dan dimulai. Semoga Allah Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa senantiasa memberikan rahmat hidayahnya kepada kita semua, sehingga kita bisa mengikuti kegiatan ini tanpa halangan apapun mulai awal hingga akhir. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We extend our gratitude to Mr. Bambang Sigit for his remarkable speech.
Terima kasih kami sampaikan kepada Bapak Bambang Sigit untuk sambutannya.
Okay. All right, without further ado, we will now move on to the main event, a guest lecture session by Joshua Shen, Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate General Surabaya, that will be guided by our moderator, Miss Lili Nur Indasari, SOS MSW.
Baiklah, tanpa perlu berlama-lama lagi, kita akan beranjak pada acara inti yang akan dipandu oleh moderator kita, Bu Lili Nur Indasari, SOS MSW.
Hello everyone. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Biasanya gitu ya, default dari SD kita ya, kalau belajar bahasa Inggris. Oke, so foto dulu. Oh, okay. We're going to have documentation session. Gimana nih? Okay, I think we can have it here. Mungkin tim documentation can help us to take a picture. Mbak Yusti, silakan. Penting, orang penting tidak boleh terlewat. Oh, okay, because the dean of the faculty will be leaving the room, we're going to have this presentation of the token appreciation session now. Wait, let me, Mbak. Mbak. Oh iya. Oh. Sama Pak dosennya juga, Bu. Okay, Joshua, we're going to have a selfie session now. It's very Indonesian typical thing. So maybe you can stand up here, and then teman-teman bisa berdiri karena nanti teman-teman yang foto akan di atas. Ya, fake selfie. Gimana nih? Mungkin bisa Bapak boleh maju lagi. Oh, iya.
Nanti videonya nanti saya dikirim aja yang video.
Oke, makasih ya Bima. Coba aja dulu. Sudah ini. Oke, udah ya. Oke. Okay. Okay. So now is the real session of the session that we've been waiting for. Halo teman-teman sekali lagi. Halo semuanya. Jadi ini semua students of class 2023, right? Yes, okay. Berarti sudah 2 bulan kuliah ya. Coba mau dengar semangatnya dulu dong. Could you please give me a huge amount of noise? Wah, biasanya. Oke. 1, 2, 3 nanti kalian scream ya, teriak ya. Oke, coba ya. Mana suaranya batch of 2023? 1, 2, 3. Oke, valid. Ini baru mahasiswa baru ya. Oke. Okay, so hello everyone. I am Lili Nur Indahsari. I'm pretty sure that you haven't met me yet, right? Kita belum pernah ketemu di dalam kelas karena memang teman-teman mahasiswa baru, saya juga baru di sini. Saya dosen baru di sini. Jadi we're going to meet in the next semester. Jadi sabar-sabar dulu, nanti kita akan ketemu di semester selanjutnya. Nah, hari ini it is such an honor for me to have the opportunity to lead the guest lecture session with the Joshua Shen as our guest lecturer today. Okay, you can please help me welcome to invite Joshua Shen to the stage. Oh, very cool. Valid to the Indonesian. You can have a seat here, Joshua. I think we have better microphone. Let me take it. Mic-nya.
Halo. Halo, assalamualaikum.
Joshua ini, walaupun even though he's from the US, he's very, very fluent in speaking Indonesia.
Belum lancar.
Belum lancar. That is contradicting to what you have said.
Thank you for the introductions. Yeah.
Okay, so Joshua, wait. So before we start, right, I'm pretty sure that they want to know more about you. Okay, so can I read briefly your bio?
Sure.
Okay, so everyone, you can have a seat. Banyak yang tidak sesuai skenario, tapi nggak apa-apa. Kita terlatih untuk menjadi fleksibel. Okay, so everyone, now we have Mr. Joshua Shen here. He's the Public Affairs Officer of the U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya. Please. Okay. Pretty sure that you are no longer can wait for his session, but let me say a few words about him. So Joshua Shen is the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate General Surabaya, and he is in charge of strengthening the U.S.-Indonesian cultural and educational ties between the people of the United States and the Indonesian community, especially in those 12 provinces that become the focus areas of the U.S. diplomatic mission of the U.S. Consulate General, which covers Central Java, East Java or province now, Bali, West Nusa Tenggara, East Nusa Tenggara, South Sulawesi, Southeast Sulawesi, Central Sulawesi, Gorontalo, North Sulawesi, North Maluku, and Maluku. Please give him a round of applause. Belum cukup sampai di sana. Previously, Joshua Shen was the strategic designer of interactive media and games for the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs at the United States Department of State. Sounds sophisticated. Strategic designer, interactive media and games.
Video games.
Media games. Okay, at that department, he launched the State Department's programs and partners in the video game and virtual reality and augmented reality. That's correct? Okay. Virtual reality, it's not common in for us in public administration, but yeah, it is, we're happy that we got a chance to learn about it from you. Okay, so prior to this assignment, Joshua worked in ECS Port Diplomacy Division as well as Consular and Public Affairs sections in 3 overseas assignments, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, and previously, Joshua studied at the East Los Angeles Community College and holds a bachelor's degree in journalism from the Northwestern University, Illinois, United States of America, and graduate degree from the Georgetown University, Washington, D.C., United States of America. Give him a round of applause. And today, he will be sharing with us about the significance and strategies of the U.S. public diplomacy implemented by the U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya. So, Joshua, the time is yours now.
Okay, thank you. We have the slide back there.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
All right.
Don't have to go down.
So, mungkin saya bisa bahasa English, and you will try to understand. We'll do our best. Mungkin ada sedikit lebih banyak tentang saya. Saya lahir di Taiwan, tapi besar di Amerika. Ibu bapak lahir di China, saya lahir di Taiwan, besar di Amerika. I like to think, when I was young, I think sebagai immigrant, I did not think working for the U.S. government, a public sector, was for me. Yeah, I did not see people like me, but now I think maybe, especially here in Asia, I can understand the perspectives of Asian people and of course of American people, and I can be a bridge sebagai jambatan untuk budaya dan orang di Asia, orang di Amerika. So that's what I try to do for my job, is to connect people together. It's not just tell people in Asia what America thinks. I also, and it's sometimes difficult, but I think it's important, I try to tell Americans and American government officials that what Asian people think. It's important to have that conversation. So today, I hope we can have a conversation. I will ask questions. I hope you will raise your hands and answer, because there will be a lot of questions in this. So let's get started, if you don't mind. All right, so I will start with a question. Ada dua foto ini, ya. Di sisi kiri dan kanan. Which photo represents public diplomacy? Raise your hand if you think it's the photo on the left. Left, the one people signing documents. Raise your hand if you think on the right represents public diplomacy. Oh, lagi, satu lagi, satu kali lagi. So, public diplomacy, if you think, kalau pikir, foto di sisi kiri, berwakil public diplomacy, raise your hand. On the left, sisi kiri. Tinggi. Okay.
Yang tinggi, angkat tangannya yang tinggi.
All right, on the left. Okay, tanda tangan. Foto tanda tangan, ya. Okay. And then put your hand down. And then who thinks it's a photo di kanan? Raise your hand. Oh, not as many. Okay. So let me tell you the answer. It's the photo on the right. the one with the microphones. Why not the photo on the left? Public diplomacy, as your dean just mentioned, he actually explained it very well. It is not government to government. It is government to people. And the microphone represents the media, yeah, public citizens. So the one on the left, we diplomat, tanda-tangan, negosiasi with other diplomats. That's not public diplomacy. So today we'll walk over what is public diplomacy, why we do public diplomacy, and how does America do public diplomacy. All right. So we already talked about what is public diplomacy a little bit. Look at the pictures on here. These all represent kinds of public diplomacy. Ada foto dengan orang Indonesia, wanita Indonesia. You all know who she is? What's her name? Yeah. Okay. The government of Indonesia, your government, chose her to be a spokesperson for the G20. Tahun lalu ada G20 di Bali. 20 countries came here. Very, very important event there, meeting. Why do you think they chose, what's her name, Maui Ayunda? Why did they choose her? Did she study public administration like some of you are doing? Kenapa memilih Maria Ayundi?
Ada yang mau bicara mungkin?
Spokesperson. What is the word for spokesperson? Juru bicara. Yeah, sebagai juru bicara.
Oh, Joshua.
Mungkin karena dia memiliki kepandaian di atas rata-rata.
Di atas rata-rata.
Smart.
She thinks maybe because Maudi Ayunda is very, very smart, so she's being chosen by the government.
Yeah.
Ada pendapat lain?
I think because Maudi Ayunda can represent about Indonesia and how people thinking to the world and to all the governments.
Yeah. She certainly has to be smart, and she has to be a good representative for Indonesia. Someone like maybe who's more famous, but not very smart, maybe not the good choice. She's also, someone people will say, oh, that we want to listen to her, right? She is conventionally very attractive. So people are like, oh, let's pick her, let's watch her. So that's why they chose her, right? She is doing the first thing, informing foreigners. So that's government of Indonesia, your government, informing the world. What is Indonesia's perspective on the G20? So that is an example. It also complements traditional diplomacy. Traditional diplomacy between government to government is good, but why do we need to complement it? Because if the people of the country support it, it also helps the government make the same decisions, right? If the United States wants to have Indonesia support clean energy, move to more clean energy. Well, the government might say, maybe, but if the people of Indonesia also want to move to clean energy, maybe mobile electric, or solar panels, all of those things, wind, maybe if the people like it, then it will help their government want to do that as well. You see a picture down of something we did in Indonesia. It's hip hop ambassador. So if some of you like hip hop music, rap music, we have in the State Department, Department Luar Negeri Amerika, ada beberapa kelompok hip hop, and they come to visit different countries. They give concerts, and you can see the audiences are also Indonesian. And then we also, of course, want to build ties. We do public diplomacy by, increasing personal relationships. So those of you who have studied in the United States or visited the United States, even on vacation or short trip, that helps you understand America better. And we also encourage every summer Americans come to Indonesia, study here, and build those relationships, working, studying here. So why do we do public diplomacy? I mentioned we have a policy that we want to inform. So first of all, do you know the picture in the middle of the festival? Anybody know what that is? That's not American public diplomacy. In Jakarta, once a year, the Japanese Kedutaan Japan mengadakan festival Matsuri. And everybody, Indonesians who are interested in Japanese culture, Japanese food, Japanese music and dance, they can come and enjoy that. That is something that Japan tries to do. Why? Why does Japan spend money to bring Japanese food? Sudah ada Japanese food, makanan everywhere, right? Di mana-mana. So why do they do that? Spend money. I spoke to the public affairs officer at the Consulate General Japan di Surabaya. It is a lot of work to put that together. Why do you think Japan would do that?
Teman, ada yang mau mencoba menjawab? Ayo. Maybe Joshua, you want to
I can.
second?
Why does the government of Japan, Kedutaan Japan, mau mengadakan festival ini, Matsuri, di Jakarta?
Oke, jadi kalau dari pertanyaan Joshua, kira-kira kenapa sih pemerintah Jepang mau mengadakan festival makanan di Jakarta? Jepang yang sudah se-powerful itu masih merasa butuh
Festival
untuk
music,
mengadakan
makanan.
music festival, food festival. Kira-kira kenapa? Nah,
Oke, mungkin karena Jepang ingin budaya dan juga keseniannya itu dikenal sama orang Indonesia. Apalagi orang Indonesia kan memiliki tingkat kekepoan yang tinggi. Jadi jadi ya mungkin dengan mengadakan festival itu di Indonesia bisa menarik peminat dari wisatawan Indonesia. Thank you.
Wisatawan, ya. Ada manfaat lain untuk Japan? Kalau orang Indonesia, warga negara Indonesia cinta, suka Japan, ada manfaat untuk Japan, pemerintah Japan?
Manfaat yang diterima dari Jepang dari wisatawan Indonesia kan adanya pemasukan ya, karena kan orang Indonesia datang ke Jepang gitu. Terus kemudian banyak orang Indonesia yang bakal kenal sama kesenian kebudayaan Jepang. Kemudian dengan adanya orang Indonesia yang datang ke Jepang juga membuat orang Indonesia juga bisa belajar gimana tentang budaya Jepang.
Mungkin warga Indonesia bisa menyebarkan budaya Jepang, misal cerita ke orang lain atau temannya, dan budaya Jepang bisa semakin tersebarluaskan.
Yeah, all very good answers. They can also encourage Indonesians to study in Japan. Very good. Japanese companies want to do business here. And so perusahaan Japan mau investasi di Indonesia. Maybe if I like Japan, if I like the culture, I will do business with Japan. In the picture below that, that's the Australian, Dubas Australia, the Indonesia. And this is an example of a company, Australian company in Indonesia. They have a business here, and these are the Indonesian workers. So why is she taking pictures? Why is she taking pictures and putting it on Instagram? She wants to show that Australian businesses are good for Indonesia, and Indonesians should do more business, should support Australia on other things as well as business. The other two photos are topics that the US is interested in. And so this is not something like of direct benefit to the United States. The United States is not trying to sell anything. One is about cybersecurity and basically understanding how to use the internet better. The other one, gambar ini adalah Consul General Amerika bernama Jonathan Allen. He is my boss, atasan saya di Consulate General. And he write editorial in the newspaper about lead poisoning, which is racun timbal, yeah. That's not directly benefiting the United States, but it's something that it's a health issue that affects everyone. So we do public diplomacy to inform, to help raise awareness of issues, to make people like us so they would want to travel, study, do business with us, maybe even cooperate with us military. So what does the United States do? We do many kinds of public diplomacy program. We have exchange program, acara pertukaran. So seperti di Amerika 5 minggu. Yeah.
Yeah, betul. Jadi teman-teman, maybe can I?
Yeah, please, can you tell a little bit about that?
Untuk promoting the event, promoting the program from the US Consulate General. Jadi teman-teman di sini ada yang tertarik untuk ikut exchange ke Amerika Serikat? Siapa sih yang tertarik? Nggak banyak. Siapa aja yang tertarik? Oke. 1.500 orang ya. Oke. Dari teman-teman yang tertarik, siapa aja yang sudah pernah deh ke Amerika? Belum. Berarti teman. Oke. Nah, teman-teman, misal lewat tukaran pelajar. Thank you. Okay, I think this one is better.
Okay.
Let's see. Oke, jadi US Consulate General punya berbagai macam program yang bisa mengakomodasi keinginan teman-teman untuk bisa pergi ke US. Dan apakah programnya berbayar? Of course not. It is a fully funded program. Teman-teman tinggal bawa diri, lulus seleksinya, lulus tesnya, langsung berangkat. Even for visa application, semuanya ditanggung. Nah, makanya berhubung kita punya Yosua di sini, teman-teman bisa tanya nanti sebanyak-banyaknya apa bisa membuat teman-teman eligible for that program, oke? yang merupakan program student exchange ke US sebagai bentuk dari public diplomacy yang dilakukan oleh US ke Indonesian society, berarti begitu ya Joshua ya.
What did you learn when you were in the US?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what did I learn? So I went to the US in 2018. It's different from my graduate program. Jadi itu bukan bagian dari S2 saya. Sebelum saya S2, saya sudah berangkat ke US lewat program US Consulate General itu tadi. Nama programnya YCLI Academic Fellowship Program. YCLI stands for mereka mencari anak muda dari Asia Tenggara. Thank you so much. Yang mereka punya initiative, tadi namanya leaders initiative ya, yang dia menjadi leaders di komunitasnya, dan mereka membuat inisiatif-inisiatif lokal yang mungkin dampaknya itu nggak besar atau gigantic gitu ya, tidak signifikan secara global atau secara nasional, tapi paling tidak dia membawa dampak untuk komunitas di sekitarnya. Begitu. Dan apa yang saya pelajari waktu itu, saya mengambil tema Social Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. Saya belajar tentang social enterprise, tentang kewirausahaan sosial, bagaimana kita bisa influencing orang-orang di sekitar kita untuk sama-sama mau membuat impact, membuat dampak untuk lingkungan di sekitar kita. Gitu. Actually, aside from that, yang paling terasa Joshua adalah from that program, I got a recommendation letter from my academic director yang kemudian surat rekomendasi itu saya pakai untuk apply mendaftar untuk program S2 saya di Columbia University. Gitu teman-teman. Jadi even though it's just a 5 weeks program, but I think the impact that I experience from that program itu tidak hanya berhenti di 5 weeks itu aja gitu, tapi it lasts up until now bahkan ya, sampai saya berada di sini di depan teman-teman dan menjadi dosen teman-teman gitu. Hopefully ada lagi nanti lanjutannya dari teman-teman yang melanjutkan saya dulu YCLI Academic 2024, 2025, saya lihat nama teman-teman ada di sana, begitu ya.
Thank you. That's as she said, it's not just the 5 weeks experience, it's the connections that you make and the ties that you make with America, but also with other Indonesians and other Southeast Asian leaders. So we have Education USA, ini kantor kami untuk membantu menemukan universitas untuk S2, S3, bahkan S1 in the United States. We do grants or HIBA. We give money to organizations. Of course, we have media, and we have these spaces called American Spaces. So some of the exchange programs, wow, we have a lot, and we bring people to United States. Sometimes we bring Americans to here as well. All of those are ways that we do public diplomacy. YCLI, you see that's really big, young Southeast Asian leaders. The other very important one is called International Visitor Leadership Program. Study of the U.S. institutes, that's also for university students. We also have a few others that university students can apply for, like Tech Camp, the Digital Communications Network, and others. So the United States has all these programs to do public diplomacy, to try to inform and to influence foreign people like Indonesians. So grants. Why do we do grants? Grants, we give a small amount of money, sometimes $10,000, sometimes more, to organizations here to do programs. So you have programs for the environment. We have programs. We made a VR software. You can see virtual reality software. We have science workshops for teachers, help them improve their teaching of science. We have a food diplomacy program where you see the picture with the food. They are, it's like a traditional food that we gave money, a grant to help make sure that they preserve how to make this and teach other people how to make this traditional Indonesian food. And of course, with our USAID, it's our development agency. They also do a lot of training and support for people. In this case, they were visiting Papua. So everywhere around Indonesia, we're providing money to small groups doing good work. So why would we do that? Kenapa mau memberikan hibah untuk kelompok-kelompok skala yayasan di Indonesia? Karena tidak ada banyak orang, right? They don't impact a lot of people, but why would we do that?
Ada teman yang mau coba jawab, kenapa? Ayo, government. Salah satu strategi diplomasi kan berikan grant atau dana hibah. Ada yang mau coba jawab? Kira-kira kenapa? Tebak-tebak buah manggis juga nggak apa-apa. Ayo.
It's okay. That's okay. It's a hard question. It's a hard question. So we give grants because, again, it's an issue that we think even though we give it to a small group, we think they will have a big impact in the future. By investing, especially in people, in leaders, when we give the money to a group, there are people who learn how to do something. And we're investing in people because those people will do great things, not for the United States. They will do great things for their own communities here in Indonesia. And, we bring goodwill to them. So that's how we do public diplomacy as well. Of course, we have press and social media. This young woman is an American Army soldier. She was just in Indonesia this summer in August and September to do this military training. So that training is not public diplomacy. Indonesian, Japanese, British, Australian militaries and US were working together. That is not public diplomacy. That is military diplomacy. But this woman speaks Bahasa Indonesia, this American woman. And so she was speaking to the media. She was talking to Indonesians, telling them why the United States enjoys this very strong military relationship with Indonesia. That's public diplomacy. She is doing, trying to convince Indonesians the good things. We also are on social media. So, for example, this is us telling Indonesians on social media, well, what to be careful about about disinformation and things like that in media. And we also provide media and journalism training. I think those are Indonesian journalists who are getting training from us. And finally, we have these spaces in the United States. We have, there's like a room. We don't have one in UNESA, but we have them in universities, 9 universities across Indonesia, where people can come and learn about American culture. They can learn programs about storytelling and Melawan hoax. They have environmental programs, English programs, and all of that. So all of these, this is a place you can visit not inside the consulate, but in a university, where then you can learn more about values and the people of the United States. So that's pretty much all of what we do in public diplomacy. But I'd like to ask the question for all of you now. This is about a conversation. So that if you read it, this is something said by our assistant secretary. We say we need to listen. So I want to listen from you now about the United States. So here, as a U.S. diplomat, I want to hear about you. What are some things about the United States that you know, that you are aware about? Like it could be a TV show, it could be a movies, it could be university, it could be apps that you like to use. What is it about America that you know?
Oke. Ada teman-teman yang mau coba jawab? Pertanyaan dari Joshua, apa sesuatu tentang Amerika Serikat yang teman-teman tahu atau pernah dengar atau teman-teman suka atau tertarik? Bisa makanannya, mungkin reality show yang dari sana, makanannya. Ada yang mau coba?
Music,
Mi-
university.
Mungkin artis-artis yang suka curhat sama Mbak Taylor, mana suka curhat sama Mbak Taylor? Mbak Taylor aku baru diputusin, tapi dia sudah jadian lagi. Ada yang suka denger Taylor Swift? Ada yang mau berbagi?
Ya mungkin entertainmentnya ya, karena ya you know that ATA Rising maybe or Taylor Swift or etc. like reality show and everything that they shows to in public and worldwide is very interesting because they serve us about entertaining. They serve us about everything that we never know before, and then they also give us a happy and very entertaining shows, yeah, like that. For me as a personal, their American entertainment is very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ada lagi? For me, I would say Friends. Chandler Bing passed away. So sad.
In the back.
Ada lagi? Ada yang nonton Friends nggak ya di sini? Nggak ada. Udah bukan angkatan Friends ya.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna say about the education in the United States, which is the #1 in the world, like Stanford, Harvard, and I think that was the what you call daya tarik about the U.S. itself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you know the names of any U.S. universities?
Itu Tika ya.
Ada tahu nama?
Maybe just a little bit. Harvard, Stanford, Boston University.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all.
Yeah, they're all very famous universities. And then, yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah,
Georgetown University.
Georgetown's not as famous, but thank you. And then also, of course, the entertainment is also very important. Not just reality show or musicians like Taylor Swift or Metallica or whatever you like. But also, we have a lot of, sports. Maybe some of you like the NBA, like basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, those are all popular things about America. And finally, about technology. How many of you use Instagram, right? Nobody use Instagram or Facebook?
Siapa yang pakai Instagram di sini?
Everybody has it, right? WhatsApp. Nobody use WhatsApp here. So all of those, of course, are American companies that are very popular here, very useful here. Of course, one of the great things is Indonesians are making great applications too, whether it's Tokopedia or GoPay or Gojek or any other application to make it easier for you. Gojek, the founder of Gojek, some of you may know, maybe most of you don't know, also studied in the United States, and he received some funding from US companies to start Gojek. So all of these things also connects us. And here's the embarrassing part. Sedikit ini berita ini sedikit malu, okay, for me, diplomat. All of the things we talked about, Taylor Swift or Harvard University or Friends, MBA, WhatsApp, Facebook, all of these technology. The US government does not create any of them, right? Seperti di Indonesia, pemerintah tidak ada they don't have the ability, keahlian, keterampilan to make all of these great things. As public diplomacy, maybe when you go into it, you will need to reach, all of you will be working, many of you will work in government, right? Mungkin ada banyak setelah tamat akan bekerja di pemerintah, ya. When you're public administration, you need to inform people, and you're not going to have a lot of things to use. You're not going to make a great song. You're not going to make a great TV show or movie because you're in government. So how do you tell the people? Let's say some of you work in health. Maybe afterwards you work in the health ministry, and you want women and children to learn about certain food that they need to eat to avoid stunting problems. How do you do that? So that's in a way public affairs or public diplomacy too, because you need to get the information out. You need to tell people about what you do. And you cannot make a TV show. You cannot create a application that everyone will use. So how do you do that? And that's the trick. That's what we're all learning. Today, you saw some things that the US government tries to do. We don't can sometimes bring musicians here. We don't run the NBA, but we can sometimes bring NBA players here to do things. We can bring in video game designers. Some of your favorite video games, we can ask them to come here to help teach Indonesians about careers in the video games. So when you do public diplomacy, you can use the popular things. You can, if you have the right connections, you can ask them to help you and do more public diplomacy, get your information out. So I'll close with that. As you work, as you go into your jobs, you have to think the things that you do are important, but how will you convince the people that it is important? Thank you.
Please give him a round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much, Joshua Shen, for your wonderful lectures. I noted some important points from your, presentation?
Yeah.
So the very first thing was that public diplomacy is not only about G2G relationship, right? But it's more about between the government and society in general, right? So there are a lot of channels that the government use to do that. Like, for example, through music, food, and then entertainment, and so on, as a channel to build that ties, as you previously mentioned, right? Yeah. Okay, and now without further ado, we still have a couple of minutes.
Sure.
We're going to open a Q&A session. So if you guys have questions, you can just raise your hand. Oh, we have so many. You can raise your hand and then Malik will help. Or runner will help on the mic. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Siva Siti from the class B. Hello, Mr. Joshua. Nice
Hello.
to meet you. I'm interested to join the US exchange program. How could we access more information on that program? Thank you.
Wonderful question.
Very
One,
straightforward.
step one, you should follow our social media accounts at the US Congen SBY on Instagram, US Congen SBY. Twitter is the same, also Facebook. And we announce when we have new applications, you can join. And also we will work with your school to tell you when there are, maybe we will have special public information sessions to tell you about that, and maybe even apply for internship opportunities. Thank you. Good question.
Terima kasih Mbak. Very straightforward ya, keren.
Yeah.
Langsung to the point about the exchange. Jangan lupa teman-teman setelah ini follow akun Instagramnya US Consulate General @USCongen seperti yang tadi Joshua sampaikan @USCongen SBY ya, SBY, right?
SBY, ya.
SBY. Langsung di follow, semua info ada di sana. Atau nanti setelah kelas ini atau besok-besok kita bisa sering ngobrol bareng. Nanti kita bisa bikin klubnya untuk preparing segala opportunity yang ada. Jadi ketika nanti once the opportunity is open, teman-teman sudah ready ya dengan skill set yang dibutuhkan, gitu ya. Oke. Another question. Oh, kita punya satu dulu. Oke.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua, for the opportunity. Let me to introduce myself. My name is Bunga Fulia Putri from class B. I have some question for Mr. Joshua Sen regarding the importance of public diplomacy that you have mentioned. How do you think about the U.S. partiality in the case of the Palestine and Israel conflict? Thank you.
US partiality.
Hello. Sorry. No, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you are very concerned about that. Maybe I will change the question to, you can see what the two sides, the stories that they're telling, right? This is a very good example of public diplomacy happening right now on an issue that is very important. Both sides, Israel and the Palestinians, are trying to influence the foreign public, right? And you see things from Israel, they have tried to influence about the people in Israel who are kidnapped. The Palestinians will show you pictures of the devastation that's happening in their areas. And so it is a very good example of why it matters, right? Now, your government of Indonesia, they have already taken a stand on this issue, but the people of Indonesia also probably will have an impact. Maybe the people of Indonesia will say, you need to do more. Or maybe people say, Indonesia will say, that's enough. Let's worry about ourselves first. I don't know for your country. In America, you can tell we are also having a big debate about this. You have seen ada banyak unjuk rasa di Amerika juga yang baik berdukung Israel dan juga dukung Palestina. So I would say it is very important that countries and even activists go out and support and do public diplomacy to get people to change their mind on this issue. That's a very good case study. As you are looking at on your TikTok or on your Instagram, you see pictures that make you feel sad. That's public diplomacy in a way. That's influencing you. So yeah, it's very, very challenging situation right now. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, thank you that's a great question. And I'm glad you don't hesitate to ask that. Yeah, don't hesitate to ask that. The question line.
Ya, tadi kita sudah punya beberapa orang lagi yang mau bertanya. Silakan.
Thank you for the opportunity. Hello, Mr. Joshua Sen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jurani Akma Putri Ardian from class 2023C. As a U.S. diplomat, how do you feel about your country's public policy that contradicted with your own personal value? Thank you.
That's a great question. You have very smart students here and unafraid. That's good. So I will say can I just speak personally? There are policies that I don't as much agree with. And the way I get around with is I don't work on that issue. For example, before we had the policies on trade policies. Trade is like, I forget the word, perdagangan. Kebijakan perdagangan yang saya tidak setuju. So I decided I did not want to work on that because it would make it hard for me to fully support the same trade policies. On other issues, I think it's very important to work on the inside to help change it. So I have been known inside Department of Luar Negeri, my colleagues will tell you, to complain about things I think is the wrong policy. And I still do that on the inside, internally. On the outside, I won't contradict policy. I'll do my best to support what I can do. And if I can avoid it, this is just personally, I don't focus on messaging. I will focus on the things I support more. That's just personally not as like the official policy of the United States. But, there's always a way to, for example, there's an issue right now that's very important. It's called disinformation. Disinformasi, very hot issue, right? Issue sangat panas. I don't know what your view on it is, but my view is freedom of speech, kebebasan berbicara, is the most important thing. And so I don't want the government to decide who is true, who is disinformation. So what I like to do as the part of the US diplomat, I like to talk about media literacy. So instead of saying, this is not true, this is true, I want to give people the power to decide themselves what is true and not true. So I think for me, it's an issue that the policy is a little challenging. I like to focus on a different way of promoting it. So I promote media literacy. That way it more closely aligns with my view.
I see. Give him a round of applause. But Joshua, before we move on next, the next students.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, so you mentioned before that if it is sometimes not aligned with your personal values, right? You are avoiding yourself from working on that issue.
Yeah, I don't need, because the government is big. You don't have to work on every issue, right? There's different offices. So I didn't go work for the trade office. Yeah.
I see. But my question is, do
do you usually have that privilege of choosing which issues that you want to work on?
Not always,
Oh.
right? Not always. On very big issues that promoting democracy as a good thing, yeah, I have to promote it because everyone does it. On smaller issues, specific like Kebijakan, perdagangan, not as it's easier to avoid. So if you're in a situation where you have to promote it, then there's two choices. You promote it or you quit. And I respect people who quit because of their policies. There are some colleagues in the State Department quit because they disagreed with the previous administration about Kebijakan immigration or something. They left, and I can respect them for doing that. So when you have to do something and it's really against you, like not a little bit against, but like you're strongly against that policy, then you have to leave the government because it's not fair to yourself and it's not fair to your employer. Yeah.
I see. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much for your answer. Maybe one last question to close this Q&A session. Oh yeah, on the left.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for amazing opportunity. Before I ask my question, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Apriani Gultom from class D. Hello, Mr. Joshua. I have question about how you start your career as a U.S. diplomat. Does it need the same step as becoming a public relation officer? Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladder.
Yeah, career. So, like I said, I was an immigrant. Saya besar di Amerika. Tidak tahu siapa saja dengan career seperti ini. So I did not think I would work in government. How I got started was I was working in China teaching. I was a teacher. And somebody told me, hey, you can work for the State Department if you take a test. So anybody, I didn't have to go to S1 jurusan international relations. Anybody could take it. So for me, I took the test. I didn't pass. So I said, oh, this is interesting. I can work for the government. So I applied for S2 and took international relations. And I finished it. And then the second time I passed the test and I come in. So when I come in as a government official, I don't need to be a public affairs expert. That's something we learn while we're doing. And I would say I'm not an expert yet either. Yeah. But we learn from doing it. You don't have to have a long plan to become a diplomat or anything. Thank you.
I see. Wow, very interesting. Thank you so much for your answer, Mr. Joseph. It's pretty much different, yeah, with the case in Indonesia, because I think you need to be an international relations graduate.
Yeah, I ended up being international relations too.
For your
But
graduate
anybody
degree.
can pass for the U.S. Anyone can pass, and most government jobs, anybody with a college degree, they're smart enough, they can get it. But obviously, if you're jurusan, then it's easier.
Jurusan.
Yeah.
Very good Indonesian language.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua Shen, for your answer, for informative and wonderful lectures for today. Everyone, that marks the end of our today's guest lecture. Please give a round of applause for our Joshua Shen. Thank you so much, Joshua, for coming to our faculty, for our department, Public Administration Department. Hopefully, this is the very first guest lecture that we have, but we do hope that this will not be our last collaboration.
but this can be the beginning of our next collaboration in the future, right? Okay, all right. Please stand up. Okay, harusnya we're going to have the token of appreciation session, and then after that we have documentation session. But ini apakah kita mau foto lagi, Bu? Sudah? Okay. You can go back to your. Thank you so much. You can go here. Oh, that's Indonesian thing. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over to our Master of Ceremony, Sora and Rafi. Thank you so much, everyone. Tadi nanya boleh maju ke depan. Untuk tadi yang merasa bertanya boleh maju ke depan untuk menerima hadiah. Teman-teman yang tadi bertanya, ada 5 orang tadi ya berarti. Silakan maju ke depan. Ada sedikit kenang-kenangan dari US Consulate General. Okay. Okay. It is hard to believe that we are already at the end of the event. Thank you to all the participants who have been with us throughout the entire event. We apologize for any shortcomings that may have occurred during this event. On behalf of the Master of Ceremony and the entire organizing committee, we take our leave.
Yes. Tidak terasa kita sudah berada di acara. Terima kasih kepada seluruh peserta yang telah mengikuti rangkaian acara. Kami selaku Master of Ceremony dan seluruh panitia yang bertugas mohon undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.